all of the various temples, and it's a problem. So the gatekeepers are going to try to keep that from happening and then getting too out of hand. Interesting that it's prompting me about this now, but sure. Do you think I need to turn the game up a little bit? A little bit on the quiet side. Just go ahead and slide both these up a bit. That should be good. Of course, this game doesn't have audio when it's tabbed out, apparently. So that's fun. Oh, there we go. There's why the mutant background is here. Yes, this is a multiplayer game. Or it can be a multiplayer game. Much like any of the roguelites like Risk of Rain and such, it works essentially identical to any of those. And yeah, that audio looks alright. Worst case, I can bump it up higher later. Yeah, we will of course be playing alone here, or for demonstration purposes. I do want to try to get people to play this at some point. As you can see, there are quite a lot of characters you can get. You only start with these two. But as you do various things that are listed here in the game, you will pick up the other characters as well. And they all have a full unique kit specific to them. I'm assuming the suits are just cosmetic, but I don't know that. I believe Nidum was the one I had used in the Next Fest demo, and I had used Hybrid in testing. Obviously, these are your difficulty settings. We're going to stay at regular 100% because I have no reason to go greedy off. I mean, if John Gatekeeper is like the most basic, like this is what you'd expect, it's probably Hybrid. They just float around shooting at enemies, and they've got a handful of other shots they use. Whereas Nidum's your basic like, melee character instead. Off we go. Like, obviously, you're going to have to do some work to unlock more advanced characters. Yeah, it's WASD to move around, and then you see all the buttons you need to use your various moves down there, and it's all aimed with the mouse. There is a timed component to this, where the longer you spend on the map, the stronger everything gets. That's why I make the Risk of Rain comparison. It is interesting that they call these claws when they're very clearly just swords, but, you know, it's fine. Let me know if those sound effects are too high. They seem okay at the moment, but they probably could do with being bumped down just a touch. This will get louder in terms of sound effects as it goes. As you progress, you'll be picking up a bunch of artifacts. You'll also gain levels, which get you a variety of bonuses. All the standard stuff, more or less. This will allow you to upgrade an item using other items. But as you can see, we have nothing yet. And the only thing it'll make is Protocol 1, which launches projectiles, which would be great, but we have nothing to use for it right now. Okay, so we got Pros, Teleport. Go, birds. Attack my enemies. Yeah, it's nice having an offensive dash, because the other one didn't have an offensive move, they just had a blink that moved them away from danger. You do have a sprint, but you'll notice it doesn't really do a whole lot. It'll be helpful for moving around just slightly faster, but not that much faster. We need to find the Cell of the Ancients and start interacting with that, but first we can buy our first thing. Let's just go ahead and increase our max health for now. That's probably a better idea than toying around with anything else. All of those items can stack and will stack. And it is usually to your benefit to actually stack them as much as possible, rather than chasing as many different items as possible. Depends on the situation and the setup you're going for, of course. We don't have enough money left to buy any of these. Blue pill wouldn't have been bad. We can come back to this shop when I have money, though. They don't go anywhere. There's our target. Now we just gotta go to a bunch of monoliths, get keys, and then put them into the thing. And then we can leave, because that'll trigger the boss fight. Again, similar to Risk of Rain, like the teleporter, but with a couple extra steps involved. Kinda figured he was gonna die. No. This is not what I'm looking for, even though it's marked.
Hello there.
Hey there, Callista, how's it going? In fact, I think that pillar is something I'm supposed to do something with. Yeah, there we go. It just didn't work the first time. I had that same issue in testing, but I thought I was just being foolish. There we go. And there's our first evolution. This time we get attack speed, base damage, or health regeneration. It gives you more or less things that'll raise your base stats, but a random set of 3 choices of that. In our particular case, we'll take the attack speed. You'll notice they weren't paused entirely during that. They were just slowed. So you can't spend all day agonizing over your decision there, or you will just get run down and destroyed. I feel like the moveset for this character changed a little bit between the next best demo and now. Either that or we did actually have a different character available. I feel like there's a move missing. Yeah, we are getting our bloodlust stacks, which are good. They give you extra damage. Nothing more, really, just extra damage. See it over there. This may seem simple right now, but give it time. As we progress further, it's going to start getting very complicated. The gameplay won't get more complicated, but surviving it will. And obviously you gotta balance clearing as many enemies as you can with also completing what you're supposed to be completing within a timely manner. In fact, I think I'm just gonna start disregarding these guys and move this along. Grab the boxes though, the boxes are good. Do-do-do. I'm too fast for you. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Take note of that meter up there. Okay, not letting me activate that one yet. Maybe I need to clear it. Maybe that's the thing. Yeah, there are elites sometimes, like this glowy guy here that I'm still hitting who isn't dead yet. Oh, that gave shields to everything in there. That's not great. Still can't activate the thing. extra health at this rate. Probably a good idea. Obviously, I don't know the right choices for this game yet. I've done one test run and then the run or so we did in the demo. So, you know. A lot of figure it out as we go happening here. And no, I still can't activate it with nobody here, so I think I need to just float away and come back, probably. Probably just being a little finicky. Now, the 1.0 for this has happened. I believe 1.0 happened a couple days ago. I think it was last Friday? Why can't I activate the monolith? I would like to activate the monolith. Oh, wait, no. I need a key. That's the problem. That's the thing. The boxes were giving me keys. Right, I understand now. I thought I picked up enough keys. I didn't. There we go. I'm not, like, top brain today, so just bear with me. Some silly decisions are going to occur. Let's see. 10% base health again, health regeneration, more speed. More melee, so I want more speed. Double skill support. Protect me by attacking enemies near me or attack enemies in the area around them. They're both basically the same. I'll take that one. Because immediately the area around me seems like it might be... Okay, maybe not. It's getting a little distracted. Oh yeah, we can also hit this siren statue. Which brings forth the boss. Might be a little bit of a problem for us because of having to try to get into melee with him when he does his bullet curtains. This would be a much easier boss for the other ranged character instead to be dealing with. As long as I am smart, we might still be able to make this work, though my health is telling a different story. And now we healed now, so we're okay. Not really sure where I got all that health back from. I think it was when we gained that level. I think you heal one level. Oh yeah, you also get upgrades to your moves every few levels. Yes, actually. My dash giving me health. Yep, that's a winning move right there. Because as long as I use it to dash into enemies, we'll heal. And that'll probably keep this game alive for this character right now. If I wasn't solo, I would consider the other options, but solo, I think I need that longevity to be functional. Thankfully, his bullet curtains hit the other enemies, so we can kind of just let that play out in our favor here. More health. Follow my own statement of longevity. That ring too early, but it'll work. You are not long for this world, Prince. Perish. There we go. Siren has been defeated. Now we can activate the Corium and get out of here. Obelisk of Catharsis gives us the same things we had before, so I may as well just take a duplicate of the one I have. I believe it just makes him better? I think the helper ones might replace. I'm not sure. More speed. I need that mobility. That mobility will keep me alive. And this is our exit, Decorium. Away! Because unlike some of the games of this type, there's actually like a safe zone in between where you can do some item management. Like purchasing stuff at the Emporium. Or in this, but, well, no, the Emporium's for removing things from the pool, which is kind of neat. Actually, having pool management is interesting because you can add things to the pool and you can remove things from the pool using these icons here. And obviously, you have to unlock some of the pools to purchase things from. Regeneration triggers more frequently, but your health is reduced. 40% health reduction is a little too rich for my blood right now. I don't think that that's a good idea. Attack speed pill sounds like a good plan. Let's go ahead and add that to the pool. I don't know. I think these might be permanent unlocks. I don't actually know. Increase Gatekeeper damage. Sounds like a great idea. No, on skill hit, restore health is probably a great idea to have available too. Obviously, we don't get those. We just get them available. And this you spend your little blue chips on. And you can buy a variety of things. I thought, for some reason, Brain went Emporium. Oh yeah, that would be where all the pedestals of items are. That would make sense. We obviously want this Jade. His health regeneration will keep us alive. Obviously, adrenaline pill's a good idea, because it's attack and health. Go ahead and get another vertebral implant. Remember, they stack. The vessels are fun. Sure. That'll actually be a good way to help me clear some area up. There's a bunch of other stuff in this place as well, of course. You got your statistics. This is everything you've done so far in this run. How long it's gone, how many stages, all that good stuff. So if you're really into your statistics, or I think there's a resume run that you've started a capability to this, so you might also be able to just check where your run's at that point. Shrine of Triads. Oh, you can combine 3 items to make something here, it looks like. I didn't actually look at this at all before. This might actually have been added in 1.0. Is something to note is I did my test before the 1.0 patch happened. So there may be some things that happened from 1.0 that are going to be different. We'll just kind of have to play that by ear. As you can tell, it lives up to the name Quiet Bay, because it's very quiet here. Not exactly a bad thing. You can use these test dummies to make sure, hey, are my attacks still effective? Did I buy something that just hamstrung me? No? Good. There's your exit over there. That'll take you to where you need to go. There should be one other thing around here, so... I think it's this thing? No, this is a different thing. I don't know what that is. There's a funny thing. Yeah, this one, the Obelisk of Curse. You can take a fairly hefty detriment for a fairly hefty power bonus. In this case, double damage to enemies, but double damage to you. 100% extra damage to Rampants and Sirens. Rampants, I think, are elites, and Sirens you saw were bosses. But you do 40% less to everything else. And if you kill an enemy, you can create an area that deals damage to all. Doesn't affect creators. Which I assume creator is myself. So that one's actually not that bad. assuming I'm understanding what that one means, is this would be like a friendly fire nightmare if it damages your teammates, but if it doesn't affect me, then that's actually perfectly fine for me, and I'm actually gonna go find out about that one. Because that's got the least downside and most benefit. And there's also another forge here that we can potentially use. On skill hit, chance to release a wave, sure. You just have to melt items that'll give you value equal to the amount it wants to create the thing. So things like the cursed items don't give much value at all. Things like this, which are higher rarity, give a lot more. So you could, like, melt 4 commons, melt 1 rare, melt 2 uncommons. You get the idea. Y'all have probably seen systems like this in other things where this will make perfect sense. As it stands, I don't think I have enough of anything. Actually, I can get rid of my sentient companion, melt him down into an ability. There we go. Just throw his sentience under the bus, it's fine. They were getting confused and being less than helpful, so I'd rather have something more consistent. That's a nice thing. You can disable the camera offset, which is it moving around when you move your cursor around, and the camera shake. So if you don't want the camera moving like this, I think that is exactly what camera offset means. Okay, we gotta charge 2 totems to leave here, because there are a handful of different objectives to clear each map. That guy was brilliant. That blue thing was the vessel that is gonna spawn when we kill enemies. Gift of Arcadium. We just got an opal eye. Okay, sure. Works for me. Thank you for 12% more damage, game. I will use it wisely. Yes. I'm just gonna gather up a bunch of enemies, because there's not many of them spawned right now. This way we can actually make use of that vessel. You see why I wanted the vessel. Oh, nope, that does affect me too. Okay, I don't know what it means by creators, but it's definitely not the one who made it. So that is actually really bad for me, potentially, then. HVC, on skill hit, chance to trigger chain lightning that jumps between enemies. That seems real useful. We've seen Second Wind before in bad mood. Deal damage with increased damage in a radius around the Gatekeeper. That would be good for my basic attack, bad for all of my other moves. Assuming radius 8 is decent size. It's probably like double the size of the spinny thing you see above of the menu there. I would say it's probably something like that size. So I'll take the HVC. Just quickly taking a peek at the audio. Either the sound effects or the music are a little high. One of the two is. Based on the way the meter's still sitting there, I'm going to assume it's the music is a little touch high, and then I'll push the sound effects down just a touch, just to be on the safe side as well. I know no one complained, but I'm just making sure. And if any of it ends up going too low because of this, you know, just let me know. We got these, like, stationary bishop dudes on some stages. They can be a bit of a problem, because they're pretty durable, but they are just that, stationary. So if you're having a problem with one, just leave them. Just leave them behind and leave. We can't afford anything in this one, unfortunately, otherwise I would have bought another HVC. I'm out of blue stuff. In this one. I know I still don't have money, but I want to know what's in these, so I know whether it'll be worth coming back for them when I do have money. Ooh, Eternal Heart wouldn't be bad. Yeah, I think I might want to come back to that one once I have 140 then. Assuming I remember which one has what and where any of them were. They are those circles that are on the map, like that one right there, but that doesn't mean I'll remember it in the moment. It just means this is information that I do have. Whether it'll get used or not... These totems actually have a bunch of phases to them, and you have to just stay within the circle to charge it. As it stands right now, we actually got a positive one, which heals me whenever a totem turn happens. And as long as I don't walk in my own red death circles, we'll actually be in a really good place here. Oh great, now I'm getting airstruck while I'm in here. That's what I'm used to seeing from these rather than a nice healing one. It's usually, hey, airstrike, and then another type of airstrike, and then another type of airstrike. You know, these totems really do just look like middle fingers sticking up out of the ground, and they really behave like that sometimes. Oh, each turn, totem spawns a horde. Wonderful. That's not actually a bad thing, because that's a lot of free experience, but it also is dangerous. But you can also just chain kill like that with the right items like we have now. So, yeah, hordes are actually mostly a positive as long as you can handle them. Everyone within the area takes 30% more damage. Hooray! Double-edged sword strikes again. Wonderful. That's what you want, right? You want to take extra damage? On the bright side, they are going to be a lot more prone to taking said extra damage. There we go, stand and suffer, or achievement unlocked. Let's give me some health regen. I thought I picked one of those up already, but it said 0 to 1, so I guess maybe I didn't. I probably assumed I could do other things to keep that going. Wouldn't be the first time I've made that mistake. We got a lot of money now, so let's quickly go over here, grab that Eternal Heart. I'm glad they don't drop on the ground, except for the fact that it also means you can't buy things for your teammates. But it means nobody can filch items that somebody else bought and things like that. So it's not entirely a bad thing, but it's a trade-off. Like, I'm sure it's an incredible benefit when you're playing a public game, for example. But in a game where you trust the whole group you're playing with, I do really think being able to drop things for each other would be nice. And there might be a drop button for all I know, and I just didn't find it. I've not had a reason to really look for that specifically here. Kettlebell, no. Implant, maybe, but blue pill for speed, yes. If I'm fast enough, then I don't need to use my dash to escape things, and then I can actually use it offensively like I have been a lot more frequently. Attack speed, yeah! I'm obviously gonna try to do my favorite thing, which is breaking a melee attack unit's animations by making them swing so fast that the game can't keep up anymore, if it'll let me. It's one of my favorite things to do, is just swing at the speed of the S. Your shield only helps if I'm slow enough not to get behind you, bud. There we go. Yeah, depending on how long these runs go, we'll probably do like 1 or 2 runs. Maybe even 3 if they're short enough. We'll see. Also depends on how well hooked I get, because let's be real, it's very easy for me to get hooked in games like this because I enjoy this style of game. We could buy that other HVC, yeah. I think that's increasing the odds of the chain lightning each time. No, it's actually more targets per stack. Interesting choice. Okay. Burning areas inside the totem. Notice how many of those are there already. Now just imagine how bad that'll get when I actually have to be careful where I'm moving. When I'm fighting other things. And you may start to understand how these totems can become rather problematic. Yep, this is much more like what I'm used to. Fire all over the ground and then airstrikes coming in. Yeah, that's the totem experience I'm familiar with right there. I'm adding my own death circles in here that'll... You know, they're actually kind of hard to tell apart because they're all orange circles. Reinforced horde, huh? Okay. I'm so glad the second totem just wants me dead. I wanted to make sure he stayed in the happy circle. Happy for me, not for him. Get something out of my eye. Oh yeah, as you can see, there's a whole lot of achievements to hit. And they are nice enough to give you a list of all of them conveniently here in the pause menu if you're like actively trying to trigger them to get unlocks from them. I ended up out of the circle. No. I lost a split second of totem charging. No. Just gonna have to jump in my death circle. No, not actually. I realized my health was low when I did that. I'm like, you know what? That almost was a really bad idea. Yeah, let's double the crow damage. That seems like a good idea. Speaking of good ideas, I should find some health before we fight the boss of this stage. Because boy, oh boy, did I suddenly get chewed up. Oh, this guy's bad news as well. This is the one that ended my decent run with the other character when I was testing this out the other day. Thankfully, we can just heal by hitting, so we'll be in decent shape before long. Between that and our regen. Alright, that should be good enough. Everyone knows about you. Yeah, Quantum's moveset is kinda nasty. Because he's got lots of big AoEs. We're actually really lucky right now, though, because he's sitting in all my damage auras, so he's actually just gonna melt this time and be way less of a problem. Oh, that was probably the luckiest I could possibly have been for that. That was actually incredible. Because all of these just happen to spawn and stack underneath him. And that's why curses aren't always a bad thing. Because sometimes they actually save your life. Right, it's over there, but I'm just farming these guys a little bit while they're in my way. We'll get an extra fuse, more power. That seems good. We also have some evolution stacked up. Let's start getting some damage and attack speed now, because we seem to be a little bit more stable. You know, ignoring the fact that I almost died because I decided to try to be funny. And now we're back in Quiet Bay. And congratulations, we're now further than my test game went, because my test game died to Quantum. Get another fuse if I had more money. I get more health regen with low health. I'll obviously take another adrenaline pill, because more power. Another opal eye. Yeah. Now, the nomad stick wouldn't have been a bad thing, but honestly not high priority, I don't think. Do I have any completable triads now? Doesn't really look like it. Because I think I don't have some of the parts of these triads unlocked. Because I'm pretty sure that's why there's question marks. I'm betting... Oh, you know what it is? I have the blue pill... Wait, no, I have the blue pill on me. So it's not 3 pills. I thought for a moment it was going to be, like, get all 3 pills and you get a thing, because that would make sense. The triad of argument is down here and uses the blue pill. So it's some kind of attacking one, I would assume, then, because it's damage, max health, and attack speed, and something for Triad of Ferocity. We do have an unlock point, so I might be able to grab something. Yeah, Siren Hunter got us duo. Synths that attack enemies within a range of 15 around the Gatekeeper. So that's fun. Yeah, we can't afford anything right now. Oh wait, I could afford Karma. Hey, stand and suffer Healing Pearl. Ooh, this might actually be the thing we're missing. Because it heals you after you take damage. Let's go back to the Triad thing right quick and see if I was correct. Nope, that is not the third part of the Triad of Life. Well, damn it. I tried. What do we trade for here? Enhancer. Ooh, extra hula hoops of doom? You know what? That's a good argument. Huh. This is only one regeneration. Melt that. Problem is I don't have a lot of things right now. We'll melt one of our spare fuses. And then I can get one more if I melt one more thing. One of those. There we go. We can throw 3 hula hoops of doom at a time now. That should be pretty helpful. Because that'll be some good coverage. It's to help keep the worst of the enemies off of us. Let's see what other curse we can pick up. Okay, there's still this thing. Which I didn't save any money for. Let's see, our choices are the same ones. I guess there is only just 3 curses at the moment, maybe? And you don't have to take one if you open it, as you see there. And I'm not going to take one with those options. The one I would take would be the double damage one, and I'm pretty confident it would get me killed. So I'm not doing that right now. I might do that with the ranged character in the next run. But I kind of want to see if we can get further, so we can unlock some more stuff. Purgatory 17, Well of Souls. We gotta go awaken a ward. We are so fast now. Get out of the way, Skillabro. Why are you running away from me? It is neat that all the enemies are themed in here. Hey, get back here. I don't know what he was doing, but I didn't like that he was touching something I was gonna get an item out of. I was kind of worried he was gonna, like, sabotage it or something. Arguably, I should have let him do it just so we saw what he was gonna do, but I'd rather him be dead and not touch the thing. Gonna have to watch out for those. Now, you might be thinking, well, Drax, shouldn't you have gotten rid of the curse so that you don't end up dying from your own hand? If I was smarter, yes, I would have done that. But at the same time, it'll be funny if I blow myself up. So, you know. It's the classic, I either do the thing that'll keep the run alive longer, or I do the thing that might be funny content. Activate the Chaos Ward. Oh yeah, this is what I had in my second stage. You gotta go to these various circles and go stand in them for a bit. Which you'll notice they're way smaller than the totems, so there's a decent bit of risk involved here. Case in point of the fact that I just nearly died to my own shenanigans. Proving once again that I am in fact my own worst enemy. That music got way louder again. Pull that back a little. Because that was loud in my ears. I have to assume that it was loud for y'all if it was loud to me. What I've noticed, at least with my setup, is everything I hear is a little bit quieter for y'all. So if it's loud to me, it's probably alright, but tending towards high for y'all. Having these poison guys when I have these circles to stand in, nightmare. Absolute nightmare. Because they're just gonna keep leaving poison puddles in the things I need to stand in. As if I'm not already poisoning myself enough. And the extra hula hoops of doom, by the way, almost entirely for being able to heal myself. In addition to the simple fact of allowing me to hit more enemies at range. There we go. Touch statue collector. Well, now that we've done all of that, let's go buy some stuff before we fight the statue boss. Healing Pearl would probably be a good idea. Because I'm guaranteed to be getting hit, so healing after I get hit works. Yeah, get more health restoration then. They are getting tankier though, so we should probably be boogieing. Where did the statue end up though? Over there. Because the statue doesn't appear guaranteed where all the other stuff you did is. I think they can just kind of appear wherever. Another healing pearl? Sure. Why not? There's the statue for the collector right there. Can't afford anything here. Shouldn't have opened it. Everyone knows about you. Oh yeah, I think the everyone knows about you prompt is a warning that all the enemies are coming this way now. Because you'll notice there were patches of enemies that didn't know we were there, so they just weren't acting on us yet. I'm pretty sure the whole map is coming to get me now. Activate Price in Blood. I don't know what that means, but you know what? I'm assuming it's a good thing. It's probably like a certain amount of lifesteal or something. Okay, I can break his totem, so I'm assuming I want to do that. Ooh, wow, we went down to 1 health and came back. Oh, boy. That's a lot of big angry skulls flying towards me. I don't like that. Oh, that was a timely level. Yeah, all these auras seem to be hurting me when I step into them to try to break those, so I'm not sure if I should actually be worrying about breaking them or not. So I don't know if they're making him stronger or if they're just presenting a danger for me. Movement speed is I need to be able to fly like a butterfly, sting like a bee right about now. Yeah, they seem to disappear on their own, so I think I just leave those alone for the most part. And just play keep away from the worst of what he's doing while I attack him when and how I can. So boy oh boy is the attacking him front not going great. Okay, I didn't end up spending it by accident. Yes, crow hits heal me. Give me even more ways to self-heal. I'm getting stuck on the enemies. Got him. Okay. That could have gone way worse if I hadn't noticed the way that mechanic worked soon enough. Oh, can I can't touch that without standing in my own death puddle. Huh. Well, that complicates matters. Can I steal help from these? I can. Okay, and then the death puddle wore off. Upgrade our essence. Now we leave before anything bad can happen. Alright. That's 3 stages we've beaten. We've only got 1 point. So, Price in Blood, Leech. All skills except for the first heal the Gatekeeper, but each use of the first skill deals damage to the Gatekeeper. Ooh, that's bad for our current setup. The lower an enemy's health, the higher the damage dealt to them. 1 damage per 1% in health. Okay. I'm assuming 1% missing health. That would be the logical assumption there. Yeah, we're gonna have to get some extra points before we can buy any of those. Unless I want to buy the Tranquilizer, which doesn't really help this character. I could get Protocol 2.0. Or Karma. Though I'd... Actually, no, because we do heal ourselves, so Karma could work, actually. Because we just put ourselves back to full health after we get hit, theoretically. So there's shenanigans that could be done there, or potentially. Also, I just realized I'm very silly. It shows you which things are part of which triads over here. So, like, this is part of the Triad of Ember. This is, of course, part of Triad of Severance. So the question marks are just straight up things that I don't have at all, then. Sometimes I pay so much attention, and other times I pay no attention at all to the surrounding things on the screen. Let's see. Cinder Flare. When an enemy's health drop below 50%, create incendiary projectiles within a radius of 25. I see. So right now, when an enemy's health drops below half, it'll fire off 3 projectiles. I kind of dig that. But what would I give up for it? The vessels are stopping being as useful. But they are 300% damage. Problem is they have to actually, like, directly land on an enemy. We could unupgrade our essence, because it is only 5% chance per stack. But I'd end up with 10 leftover points. So I'd have to give up like 2 other things to get an extra Cinder Flare or something, which would only get us 1 more projectile, or just let the other 10 points go. I think the smarter thing to do would be to go to the shop first and come back to this. See if we could buy some fodder. I could get another right click. I could get more attack speed, kettlebell, increased crit chance, maybe. Another Opal Eye, Bad Mood, and Blue Pill. I mean, Blue Pill and Bad Mood go together alongside a third thing we don't have, but we don't have the third thing, so getting that's kind of a meh. There's also the answer where I buy the additional enhancer and just feed that to the thing. Get the Cinder Flare. Not an unreasonable decision. See that, or I just throw 4 hula hoops, but based on how effective that's been, I think what I'm actually going to do is do something a little bit silly here. Melt that. We melt 1 of these, and now we have 70. Well, that leaves me having to melt 2 things. I miscalculated slightly here. This calculation is overall okay, though. Give up a little bit of our health, and then... yeah, go ahead and give up the second wind. And that creates 3 of them. So now it will fire off 5 projectiles within a radius of 25 whenever enemies go below half. That should give us quite a bit of extra free firepower. You can also scoop up a little bit of extra money laying around here, which I should really be more attentive to doing, but it's fine. Sometimes you trade being attentive and effective for moving fast. As in this business. We might actually be able to scoop up enough money, though, to be able to buy 1 more thing for 600. Or I'm not going to be able to find enough. Oh, off to stage 4, then. We might also have missed the location to do the other thing. Obelisk of Great Distribution. Oh wow, that's got good stuff in it. I'll have to come back for this. We also unlocked Titan 200. I think that's a character? Not sure. Hey, we replaced that second wind I got rid of. Everything worked out for the best. This guy's not that bright. Get a load of this guy. He's menacing with spikes. Also about as smart, though. Is our base damage some more? Our base damage has been getting kind of carried by items, so I do need to get our, like, actual base damage better. We could get no bad stick, but I think I'd want to get my health back up. This is despite the fact that I was like, oh yeah, I can get away with giving that up. Oh, he just stomps along and hits the ground. Interesting. His whole attack is basically, I'm gonna get you. Oh god, he's getting me. Stop getting me. I do not wish to be got. These guys really are not worth much, though. Let's go ahead and take the Triumph, because we can start chain killing, which might help. What the hell? Interesting. Case in point, that sudden 50% damage bonus just made all of that stuff melt. You seem upsetting to deal with. I'm just gonna leave you behind. Goodbye. Can't afford anything that obelisk of distribution, so we'll just hold that thought for the moment, because this thing is on my tail real hard right now. So we gotta do the monolith thing again. Remember that keys matter this time. Conflict altar. Hey, look, I summoned enemies. Hooray! Well, this is bad. They just got all kinds of buffs in this area. Get a load of the dinosaur over here. With the giant death laser. Oh god, I got stuck. Oh, that's why there was shields. It wasn't an elite death thing. It was an enemy, like, portable monolith dude. Okay, so that's what those monolith spider dudes do. Remember that. Conflict altar challenge has been completed. It was pretty worth it for money, all things considered. I could have handled that way better, but I was learning. Sometimes it's best to let the enemies actually exist for a little bit to understand what they do. And if you believe that, I got a bridge to sell you. It's right over there. It's a wonderful bridge across a bunch of sand. You never have to cook your feet walking across that patch of sand ever again. Boop. You spin me right round, laser baby, right round. Three times fooled. Don't really know what that means, but it's fine. Let's go gather up all these kids here, and then we'll start blasting. Oh, I did not mean you were gonna start blasting. I didn't realize one of the things in this pile was you. There we go. All the vessels kicked off. Okay, that worked out. Not really entirely according to plan, but it worked. Let's see if we can get back to that vessel of great distribution. I think it was over this way. I'm pretty sure we spawned back up towards here. case anybody thinks we were in a new spot, remember those boxes appear after you touch the thing. Increased attack speed, yes please. I made a wrong turn. This one's the great distribution one, I think, and this is a regular right here. Grab them both. Hey, we got karma. Now we just gotta not get karma'd in the process of making use of it. That worked, though. Can I break this? Ooh, activate generator. I don't know what this does, but I'm gonna activate it. As soon as I stop being harassed the entire time I'm trying to activate it. I don't entirely understand what's happening. I think I've turned it on and off a couple times now, trying to do something there. Oh, I think I don't have what it wants. I think that's the problem. Like, based on looking at that, it looks like it's trying to do something and can't. Cut Cloud is pretty good, but I think Inertia will be funny. The more things that trigger when my enemies die, the better. So we can just keep causing nightmare chain reactions. Keep the field clear. Double my health regeneration, why not? Hopefully the way the camera's moving when I'm doing that isn't messing with people too badly. I'm just kind of grooving along while I'm not under threat. I could activate the Colossus statue now. There's really like nothing else on the map based on the mini-map, so... Yep, off we go then. What's up, big man? Here, have some rings of death. Oh, those just home in after he fires it. What the? Okay, that was a thing. That's a move, I guess. You know, that legally counts as a move you can do, I guess. Need to get the buff guy gone. There we go. If I didn't have all this lifesteal and sustainability and such, I'm pretty sure I'd be dead by now, with the way my health bar just keeps fluctuating wildly. Extra crows, extra stuns. Let's get larger discs since we have a lot of discs now. Ooh, pretty. Pretty colors of death. Nope, I keep throwing too far. That is a neat idea, though, that he just has this giant smokestack that he just unleashes hell from. Like, it's nothing complicated, but it manages to be very threatening. Ow, ow, yeah. But it's actually, as long as you're paying attention, not, like, crazy hard to dodge. Is the more important thing. Because that seems to be the way with a lot of these sirens, is they're not hard to deal with as long as you're attentive. The moment you get distracted, like if the other enemies are nipping at your heels or anything like that, it's very easy for you to end up getting obliterated. Let's grab back the essence we gave up. And we're out of here. That's stage 4. I don't know how many stages there are, but we're gonna find out at this rate. We've doubled the amount of achievements we have, by the way. Okay, yeah, Titan 200 was just visit Eridoon. Oh, and we took no damage from a siren at some point. Wait, no, I think I did that in the test game, because we already had Siren Hunter, I think. Yeah, we've done a lot of things here, but we've got more to go. A lot more to go. This would be tricky to do, but you'd probably do that on like a stage 1 area. Oh no, Titan 200 was just more items. Okay, so we got Argument, Bayonet, Skirmish, Wilt Haze, and Bane Seal. Ooh, okay. Skill hit on an enemy with full health does a thing. Oh! Argument's the last piece of the one with bad mood and the blue pill. Oh, and it gives you a damage aura. Sold. Okay. Just making sure everything was capturing properly and all that. Never hurts to make sure. Okay, so what do we got up here? We've got Cinder Flare, Nomad Stick, Opal Eye, Adrenaline Pill, Jade, another Cinder Flare, Vertebral Implant, and a Second Wind. Okay, and what is my craft item? A Jade. There is a line of thought where I just make a bunch of Jades, so we just get a ton of HP regen. Oh wait, these are worth less now. These were worth 40 before, and now they're only worth 30. Unless maybe there's an exchange rate in play, like you can't exchange a high rank item for a low rank as well as you can a high rank for a high rank? I don't know. Something's afoot here. It may also just be that the efficiency of this thing decreases over time, too. Hard to say. We'll go ahead and grab another Opal Eye, another Adrenaline Pill, and I think that'll have to do, because we can't afford anything else that costs 800, as it turns out, when we've already spent 1,600. There's a bunch of gems over there I can grab. I wouldn't be surprised if that casket-looking thing up there is a character. That would make sense for that to be a character unlock option. Oh yeah, we'll be able to afford another item in a minute here. There we go. Let's see. Go ahead and snag another Vertebral Implant. Neat! We got another unlock. Is that another item set? I presume it is. Yes, it is 4 more items. Are any of these for the sets I was looking for? That's the Triad of Reflection from Riposte. Shield module's not bad, and... okay, Protective Mark and Shield module both are non-set items. And this is for a set we hadn't even seen, Triad of Shock. Alright. Just take a quick scout through here. Oh, interesting. So the Triad of Argument just increases argument radius, so I'm not too fussed about getting that one. Triad of Breach is Inferion and Cinder Flare and something else. Okay, so you have to have all 3 items unlocked, and then it'll tell you what the Triad does. Good to know. We're learning game mechanics here folks. We're learning game mechanics. Slowly but surely. I can be taught sometimes. And we've unlocked another set of items by getting here. Sure, why not trigger the conflict altar in another area that we're not familiar with yet? That's how you learn about what enemies do, right? Is you summon a lot of them, fight them all at once. Oh, I see. The faster you clear them, the more money you make. Okay. There we go. Conflict achievement unlocked. Gonna get so many items. So many items. All of the achievements. And that guy soul left his body. That's a shame for him. Blue pill. Yay. I know this is an odd time of day for me to be streaming, so thank you all for sticking with me on this one, by the way, and coming out at this point in the day. Like, I know we're kind of like in mid-swing at the time I normally would be stopping. I do appreciate that. Oh, wait, yeah, this is a forge. I can convert things into adrenaline pills here. Ooh, actually. Go ahead and give up one of these. Because that's a big boost to our stats. What else do I want to... Go ahead and trade one of those essences as well. There we go, 100% bonus to both. There we go, now we're talking. $725 health instead of 500. That's a pretty good increase. We'll go ahead and snag us a bad mood. Now we have the aura around us that tells us where that is. Basically, our basic attack is guaranteed to be boosted by it. Oh, we can get a replacement Cinder Flare immediately. Or I do a funny. Just do the thing again and get 30% more of both stats. Who needs abilities when I have stats? I will just smack the game upside the head with raw number. Whoa. Unless you can teach me how to do that, I will trade stats for the ability to do whatever that was. It wasn't very effective, but at least it looked cool. No. This thing that's happening with the lasers, no. We're not having that, no. Not allowed. I can do funny laser things, but you guys aren't allowed to. It's only cute when I do it. Oh, you can fall off the stage, as it turns out. So put that down in your notebooks as well. Falling off is a thing. This doesn't hurt as much as I expected. We could get more power from Triumph. But we can also just do 20% damage over time around us. Oh wait, no, we only have one, so it's just 10. We have all kinds of fun auras around us now, though. And we've got just a shield of fireballs around this area that say you can't leave unless you want to get set on fire. Thankfully, it stops them coming in, too, so actually it's to our benefit with all these ranged guys, because they'll just stand in it. They look like cultists, so really, I would anticipate that they're not that smart. Great, I just have death meteors coming for me again. Wonderful. Just a different flavor of death meteors. That's what I wanted. And totally, death meteors everywhere, yeah. Reinforced Horde again, of course. I wonder if the Horde thing is guaranteed. Because it really does seem like it with how often it happens. No, none of that. It is kind of neat how we do have these enemies that like burrow into the ground and do something specific, like they'll either buff enemies or do the spinning laser. I do always like it when enemies have like unique moves. Sure, some skill cooldown time wouldn't be a bad idea, so I can actually use these moves a little more often. Now that they're getting a bit more useful to me, other than just being a means of healing myself. Okay. Totem charged. Now let's get out of there before anything bad happens. Or anything worse happens in this case. Oh, that's like a screen-wide laser, huh? I mean, a map-wide laser, rather. Screen-wide would make sense. Map-wide is a little upsetting. It also doesn't seem to care about height, which is fascinating in the most upsetting way possible. I wouldn't mind one of those, but I have no money. Not enough money anyway. You, stop the thing that you're doing. That thing with the lasers, stop it. Okay, looks like our other target's down here, so it's gonna be a little awkward because we are gonna be like trapped on this little peninsula. We can afford this, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab another argument copy. There we go. DMO is a good one. I'm probably never gonna see another positive one, so, you know, enjoy it while it lasts. Okay, these mine layers are also upsetting. Well, speaking of upsetting, pillars of light have appeared again. This is... I feel like the area within this totem is going to become really unfortunate for me very quickly. There's the 30% more damage aura thing again, which is great. I attack first in most cases, so I have the advantage with that aura. There we go. Well, that was an awkward spot to do that, but thankfully it didn't take me that long to make that decision. And up, over, and gone. We're out of here. I think this is the same forge we were at before, and I really should have went the other way. It sure is the same one. There's nothing else I really want to convert more of. Let's go back the way we came, because it looks like our target's going to be in that upper section in the middle where we had been before, so it'll be faster to get there from here. Not quite the middle, but I was on the right idea. We can also afford our Obelisk of Creation reward, so I'll grab a second fuse. That one. Siren Statue of Tara. Oh, you took a while to activate, huh? I threw all of my skills and then suddenly realized that they weren't ready to be heard yet. Yes, put all the circles under the boss. Yes! That was actually way easier than expected. And that might be the end there. That looks upsetting. Order unlocked. Corrupted Corium. Okay. What's this thing do? I'm not sure what it did. Just kind of activate. And I can activate it again. Okay. Oh, it turns between red and blue. Well, you know, red is my favorite color, so let's leave it red and see what happens. Maybe this goes to the final fight, though? We shall see. The Nowhere Quiet Place. Activate Corrupted Quarium or Apotheosis, and don't mind the whispering. I'm sure that's fine. Another Jade. Whoop, fell off. Oh, at least the spooky Quiet Place has a shop. Pretty good shop too. Stuff is expensive here, though. That's a shame. What you got for me, Emporium buddy? Anything new? Yes, Conflict, which is Delusion. Upon killing Rampant, creates a gravitational point that deals damage after 4 seconds. Hoarder, Greed's Gambit. A chance for a random modifier to drop from a killed enemy, but obtaining any artifact deals damage to the Gatekeeper equal to half their health. Yikes! So you get free artifacts, but the artifacts hurt you. Ooh. 3 times fooled gives damages increased during even minutes and reduced during odd minutes. Up 50%, down 50% respectively. Pallium got us Bulwark. When health drops below 30%, create a temporary barrier. That's useful. A lot of these don't seem to be part of any triads, is the biggest upset here. Now, the conflict one is, we actually know how to get the Triad of Devastation, and it causes Delusion to trigger on any enemy marked with the Bane seal, which is from this item down here. Oh, no, this one. This is the Delusion. Now that I look at that icon again. So anything you put Bane seal on would then make a gravity well. So that's actually kind of cool. That could be huge, but we don't have the items, nor do we have the points to unlock them right now. You know, is it bad that I was happier when it was still doing the spooky whispers instead of just being completely quiet? There we go, that's better. Okay, so it's the corrupted thing itself that's making the noise. Or we could end the run with Apotheosis, which we do need to do Apotheosis to get a character, so we'll go ahead and end this run. Pandora now available. This way we get to see another character during this showing. We did pretty good. About an hour of runtime, which it did feel like the run was a little longer than that, but sometimes when you're in it, it can feel like it takes longer, you know? So I think if we had used the Corrupted Quorum, I assume it would have looped based on the loop's completed one. So I think that is the end of a run. There's not like an actual boss at the end of a run or anything, it looks like. What do you have? You have Luminary, Emission, Healing Dash, Lightning Conductor, and your primary attack has a chance to bounce. Okay, so you're another ranged character. Well, let's give Pandora a chance, shall we? Based on the fact that a completed run took like an hour, I guess I'll show off every character we have. Or I should say, I'll do probably a third run, and if we unlock somebody else, we'll use them. If we don't unlock somebody else, we'll use the basic starting guy. You are a little on the slow side, but your power seems useful. Okay, that's how that works, and it keeps zapping for a little while. Okay. And the healing dash is a dash that makes a healing circle at the end of it. Okay. Understood. Just playing the death drums, just dum 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 dum. So I know they're like waving wands to cast out these projectiles, but it really looks like they're just banging on a drum and projectiles are flying out, even though there's no drum there. Oh, neat, we can go in here. Like, aesthetically, this game's really neat. Like, there's a lot of unique environments, even if some of them end up looking a little similar at a glance. They still manage to be varied enough. What's in the box? I could definitely see this being a game I play for a while, though, especially if I can get other people to play, much like I gotten addicted to Risk of Rain in for a while. I could definitely see this lasting a bit, especially with the amount of character options there are, as long as the other characters are different enough. Like, that's going to be the big kicker to something like that, is the characters have to actually play differently enough. Because I would argue even Risk of Rain's guilty a little bit of a couple of the characters playing a little too similarly, for my taste. And right now, there's a decent bit of similarity between this one and the starting ranged character. So I'm a little worried we may just get multiple flavors of this is a ranged character, this is a melee character, rather than them having much more of an identity, but we'll see. It depends on what the next unlock looks like. And this was also I would assume the easiest character to unlock based on the fact that all it is complete a run. So, like, obviously, you would not want to have one of your more complicated characters be on an easy-to-do thing, necessarily. Oh, if I had 10 of the unlock thingamajigs, I could do whatever that does. I do appreciate that you actually have more uses for those things that are used to unlock items, so that when you actually just have extras of them after you've unlocked everything, or have unlocked everything you have the achievements for at the very least, you still have a use for them. Because that's the risk with an unlock mechanic like that, is you just end up with the items just not having a purpose anymore after you've unlocked everything. But I presume, since there's a few mechanics that can use them, there is at least enough use for them for a while at least, considering we have that thing that can use 100 of them, for example. Like, it'll be a bit before I have 100 of those to spend, let alone end up spending 100 of them on whatever that thing in the case is. I would have liked the attack power one, but I need the speed, because she is too slow. I do have a fear that this might be meant more as a team play character, considering they have that healing dash. Because, like, their attacks are pretty powerful, but maybe not powerful enough to keep ahead of the crowd. But, like, obviously, if you set up a good impulse, you just chew through a crowd, so maybe it's just I'm not using the right attacks in the right places. There's always a bit of an adaptation, after all, so it's kind of the basic attack that's a little lackluster. But I'd say it's on par with the other ranged characters' basic, though theirs is a little faster. Obelisk support. Here, get me a friend. Oh, it's multiple friends, but they explode. Interesting. Yeah, the thing's already active. We just need to go activate the last key, and then we can go ahead and fight the boss of this stage. I get the feeling I might end up spending more time on this stage than I did with the other character, though, so I can get all the items. I think we just did, so never mind. Yeah, there's nothing else marked around, so wakey wakey, Prince. Looks like the bosses might be set in their order, which is a little unfortunate. We've had Prince first twice in a row now, but it might be that the first stages also have like a couple of bosses and I've just had bad RNG as to which ones I'm getting. That was a well-timed evolution. Maybe not as well-timed in me actually picking it, but well-timed in that it healed me, that's for sure. We've got a glaring weakness in terms of our max HP pool, but the other character had the same problem at first. There we go. We got through it. We'll just get more swarm upgrades, I guess. Send all my little explodey friends to go harass my enemies. Impulse size by 50%, skill damage by 50%, duration of the heal, or area radius. I feel like upgrading our basic attack to do more damage makes the most sense, because we do have to kind of spam that to maintain in between big attacks. And a 50% buff should actually help quite a bit. Oh, Groundhog Day unlocked. I don't know why. Oh, wait, no. Yeah, activate the thing 3 times. This is our 3rd run, technically. 2nd that y'all have seen, but 3rd I've done. So that got us Ritual Vessel. Critical damage restores health, but attack speed is reduced. 2% of dealt damage is the heal, and 30% is the reduction. Oof. That 30% reduction hurts. I think I'm going to keep saving for some more higher-end stuff, though. We've got a lot of basic items. Use HVC, Yellow Pill. That is the downside to it being a double unlock system, where you have to unlock the ability to purchase it and then purchase it in an unlock shop, though, is you do spend a bit longer without getting new stuff. So right now our pool diversity is a little eh. So a lot of runs are going to end up being on similar items, probably. Attack speed would be good for us, though. That's already a bit better. What's our forge item? HVCs. I see. Could turn some of my swarm boys into chain lightning. That would be funny. With how little our health is, I think second wind is useless to us. We'll trade that for an HVC. That does make them do a lot more damage having that second one. But a bunch of chain lightning jump would make our basic attack... Oh no, HVC's skill hit anyway, actually, so that's not as big. If it was on my basic attack, I'd be a lot more convinced by it, though that does mean that our big lightning bubble would then presumably cause chain lightning 1 in 4 times. There is value there, but I don't think enough value to do it that way when I can just buy 2 of them like this. So that gives us 4 targets on the chain lightning. Though then again, I could just trade yet another one. Like I could trade the thing that summons the little guys, and then get 3 more targets for the lightning. Hold E to sacrifice the Omni Stone. So I guess these are Omni Stones. And that gets us whatever's in there, or whoever's in there. I am going to do a funny, and we're going to take the double damage and take double damage one, because we are ranged, we can get away with that a little bit more. And I think that'll actually make this character pop off pretty well, as long as I don't get hit. If I get hit, there's gonna be less popping off and more popping. That'll happen. But, you know, that's part of the fun. I think this is a different stage, yeah. Two-shotting these guys isn't bad. Obviously, one-shotting them with the right-click. So the idea is sound as far as being able to just keep them at arm's length plus some with our power. It's just gonna be a matter of whether I can keep that up. And attack speed's gonna be a big part of keeping that up. A big part of why I think I'm gonna be able to get away with this, even without the idea of just not getting hit, is the basic enemy attacks don't seem to do much damage. So as long as I don't, like, sit there and soak, we should be fine as far as that goes. Where it's gonna get sketchy is against the sirens and do actual damage. Or at the very least, it builds up to actual damage. Which it will now build up twice as fast. So there is something to that as a concern. I do need to keep that in mind. But, you know, where's the fun in not risking anything at all, right? Right. Alright, it's 280. I am gonna grab that enhancer to get a second impulse, because impulse is such a good skill in terms of just raw damage. I wonder if there's gonna be things like the Risk of Rain item that gives you extra dashes and extra third abilities as well. Or if it's gonna only be right clicks. Because right clicks are fine, but more. Let me just spam like a dozen different abilities if I get the right items. I'm kind of banking on the idea that the multiple impulses and the lightning conductor just lets me melt a boss before it can be too much of a problem. If that isn't the case, then we might be in trouble. You know, it says on skill hit, I just considered the fact that your basic attack might count as a skill. Maybe. Only one way to find out, because I thought I saw something chain lightning-y happen. Clearing each ward point slows down gatekeepers. Hooray. That's what I need, is to be slower when I'm this vulnerable. Thankfully, I can just put down a big death field. And I can see where they're coming from. Oh, wow, that slows you down a lot, but only for a second, so that's okay. I thought it was going to be a permanent stacking slow for the rest of the stage, which would have been horrendous for me. There we go. There we go. Now, one more to go, and it's over here. Oh, apparently I left the really far away one for last. Actually, yeah, yikes, that is far away. Where is this even taking me, aside from across the map? There we go. Thankfully, it seems like the rest of the enemies really aren't actually aware of my presence up here, so I can just kind of chill. This is a little bit silly. You would think this would have been another one of those everyone knows you're here type scenarios. But I ain't gonna argue with it. Hurt. Slowly I left. Yep, there's Quantum again. Hold on, shopping first. Triumph was really good, and it'll fit what we're doing here pretty well. Get him to fully spawn in and have his health bar. Yeah, that's the damage I was hoping for. It is a little crowded around here, though. And we're dead. I saw it coming, but I couldn't get the dash to happen fast enough. I hit the button, but I think the explosion happened in the frame I pressed the button, so there was no hope there. Well, so much for that plan. Let's actually double check what the requirements are. Visit the planet Aurora twice per run, so it would have had to have kept the run with Nidium going longer. Pass a total of 20 locations. Activate the capsule with Echo, which we don't have yet. Release Void Model. Touch the Heart of Time, and... oh, this just gives you random. Okay. So it'd need a very successful run to get to that one. Is you'd have to do a second loop and get to Aurora, which wasn't Aurora the third planet? And if they do have multiple options, you may just not even get that one in the second loop. You may have to do a third loop to get to it. And then, of course, you gotta figure out a lot of these other ones. 20 locations you're guaranteed to get over time, so that's not too bad. I also just realized they all have different starting stats. Yeah, 250 HP, 150, and 180. That 150 starting health does explain some of our problems. But I said we were going to do hybrid next. I didn't say whether that had to be a successful or unsuccessful run, so I guess we'll be hybrid next. Which has a second chance, but you get half your health on the second run, I think? I think that's what it means by plus 50% to damage after triggering. Either that or you do more damage? I'm not sure which way that is meant. I don't remember. Yeah, you can dash through enemies, you've got a bouncy disc, you got a fireball, and just dual pistols, essentially. They're kind of your hands, but they play very similarly to, like, the commando pistols from Risk of Rain. And away we go. Time for basic bitch mode. Wait, yeah, this is Aurora, so never mind. It would be your first planet of the second loop. So actually, yeah, that's not too bad. You just have to get one extra planet in to get that, potentially. Behold my palm pistols. Bing, 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 bing. Yeah, this isn't guaranteed to be first planet, so I feel like you could end up not getting it. But I guess if you're aiming for speed, you could just, like, reset the run at that point if you don't get it. Depends on if you're focused on getting it, like, done as quick as you can, or if you're willing to just ride the run out and see if you get somebody else instead. As you can see, the bouncy ball is very effective. Fireball's no slouch either, but the bouncy ball is arguably the strongest move, which is, of course, why it's your fourth button. Ooh, increased crit chance. That's actually gonna be real good for somebody like this. Because obviously we're gonna be going for attack speed again. So attack speed and crit chance is we'll just turn our hands into machine guns. Oh, fuck that up. The intent was for the enemies that were behind me to run up in time for that to bounce to them and take out a bunch of them. And they got a little too confused for that plan to work. What do we think the over-under on me surviving a silly idea like going for the double damage again is? Our attacks are arguably more efficient here, though the other characters' attacks are, I would say, probably more powerful? I think I do have a better ability to protect myself currently. That's what the 3 times fooled thing is. There's empty boxes. I didn't even pay attention to that. I just was opening the boxes assuming I was getting something every time. I was too busy trying not to die, as you might imagine. Yum. You know, thinking of the name Gatekeeper really makes me wonder if that game Gatewalkers ever actually got anywhere. So that was an interesting one. Ended up playing a beta of that like forever ago, and by forever ago I mean like probably like 5 years or something of that tune at this point. And I'd never heard anything about it again, so I suspect that game is probably just dead, but popped to my brain now because of the gate thing. It's just like, huh, wonder what happened to that. Probably nothing. Pew 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 pew. Get pewed on, son. Ding 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 ding. Cut Clout or Cinder Flare. Cinder Flare is real good, but I think Cut Clout might actually be good for us. Unstoppable. Speedrunner. Did I really go that fast? I mean, I guess I did go pretty fast. Apparently fast enough. Oh yeah, it was under 5 minutes, and I'm gonna then guess that 5 minutes is the cutoff there, probably. So that opened up some more things. Third skill gets an additional charge. Okay, so there's our dash upgrade. And Unstoppable. During the sprint, meteor shower surrounds the Gatekeeper. Ooh. That actually gives sprint more utility instead of just being, hey, go slightly faster. So that's actually not a bad idea either. I am tempted by the extra dashes. Except for the fact that this is probably the only character I don't particularly care about his dash on, aside from for dodging an attack. Which we can kind of just get enough move speed to do that already. I would love this on the melee guy we were playing, so I could just like do exploding dashes a bunch. Kind of like I would do with the mercenary. Alright, we do have a bunch of these left to get to. Oh, skirmish costs 2 though. Sad. Beaconing Cloud. Yeah, there's the Bane mark. That's the other thing we need for the triad there. Which, don't we have a triad available to us? That I just need to actually, like, assemble? Yeah, the argument one. I need blue pill, argument, and bad mood. Well, there's bad mood. Which, you know, constant state of being for me, but that's neither here nor there. Oh yeah, we do also have this one we can do. That needs karma and something else we don't have unlocked. Can I unlock it? Presumably since it's got its highlight, I can. Oh yeah, it's riposte. Sure. Damage reflection would be useful. Don't think it'll be as useful on this guy, but it's useful. What's our forge item? Cinder flares, huh? Okay. Real shame that I don't have anything to spare to make that right now, but, you know, it's an idea. Let's grab another Triumph so we do 100% more damage when we've killed something. And of course, we're risking the double damage again. After all, the only hit point that matters is the last one. And if you get to the last one on your enemies way faster, then you're less at risk of getting down to your last hit point. That just makes sense. There's no questions about this logic, right? This all is above board, no questions here. Back to Celestium. Yeah, our per shot damage is definitely lower than the last characters. But he makes up for it in speed. Hey, neat, more crit chance. It's always nice when I don't even have to try to get that. We'll try to go for the second arrival at Aurora for this one. Activate the Chaos Ward because I have no reason not to. Oh! You know, I just said I had no reason not to. I found immediately a reason not to have touched that. Wow, this music's like way more aggressive. Yeah, that's definitely louder. Hold on. Pull that down a bit so I can hear myself think. It's a pity. It's a good beat. It's just a little too strong. And bear in mind it gets a little bit louder after I close that menu, which is why I pulled it the way I did. Yeah, let's grab a Nomad Stick, because I have an idea. So I want to test to see if it'll trigger off of the basic attack. It says skill hit, and technically the first one is a skill as well. Doesn't seem like it's triggering, though. The odds may just not be good. Oh no, something happened. Saw something come flying out of that guy. And it wasn't the thing flying to me. Oh, this node's like all the way out here, huh? Okay. The fact that those guys explode is gonna make this so dangerous. I have to keep them away real hard right here, or I'm going to potentially have an issue. Especially when these melee guys try to come running into the bubble with me. Oh yeah, this one specifically specifies first skill, so I think the other ones don't work that way. But a bunch of protocols on this guy are real good because you just get so many free bullets. I had a forge that gave me protocols and I had like 10 of them in my test game. It was funny. Just spamming those all over the field. It almost gives you just like piercing shots. Oh yeah, you can also just get that ability on your basic attack too, so you can combine the two. Right, that was the other trick. Let's get us some move speed with the blue pill. Because being slow isn't gonna help us. As funny as it would be to be like the slow but powerful turret man, that's not really a strategy for us right now. Not with our double damage intake. And, you know, the whole being solo thing. If I had somebody with me, I would try the turret shenanigan plan, but solo, you would just get overrun. Follow the wire. like that one charged real fast. Oh, the difference it makes when I'm paying attention and actually use my moves properly, huh? There we go. Time to go fight Quantum again and see if I survive this time. Remember, if you're at all interested in this game, hit exclamation lurk it and you'll get the store page. They didn't give me a fancy link for this one, so it is just gonna take you directly to the store page, no like tracker link or anything for this one. But you know, every click is appreciated regardless. Ow! That's why Quantum's a problem. He hits so hard. Oh. Like, he's one of the ones that's real dangerous with double damage, because that was almost my entire health bar when he hit me. Cool. Extra fireball. Sure. Fireball is pretty good. There's a shop I left behind, but we're just boogieing. Based on how powerful I ended up with the other guy once he got far, I think we can make do with missing a shop or two, because I definitely left some shops behind with him, too. If I had a lot more items in the pool and a lot more points, I would definitely start excluding things. But I don't think we're at that point yet. Hollow Talisman, no thank you. Fuses aren't bad, but I don't have the resources for it. I could get another indicator. I could actually just get another fireball, but we're kind of leaning into our left click a little bit here. I think the opal eye and the indicator are probably the better idea. It also doesn't hurt that those affect every move we do anyway, so probably the better choices regardless. The exception being if there was something that would get me one of my triads there, and there really isn't. Off we go. Yeah, this does definitely start smoothing out and speeding up as time goes on. Like, as you're just going through the motions and zooming along. Hang on. I think from the group chat that I'm in for that collab on Saturday. Okay. Just people reacting to the people that added their repo-specific PNGs, like myself. Which I did make a minor upgrade to it, and then I didn't actually like the upgrade as much as the original, so I didn't keep the upgrade. You know... No... Well, I don't really need the kettlebell, so we'll turn that into an opal eye. It's only a 5% chance. Nah, we'll keep it because we might stack it. I do think trading the damage when your health's lower for damage all the time is probably a good trade, because we are going to get another 36%, which would be the same as losing... Actually, no, because it'd be the same as losing only 18% of our health. And we lose that much health all the time, more or less, so no, I think that's better to keep. How much do I feel like I need the extra fireball? Because we can't actually finish the Triad of Devastation without unlocking 6 points worth of items, so we can't actually do that Triad right now. I think the flat damage increase is the better call here, or overall. Because remember, it also plays into the fact that our damage is doubled. So it'll help us chew through things. Go ahead and activate the instability generator. I don't think we've done this one yet. Deliver capsules to the generators. Okay. Give money. But where's... Oh, there's an enemy that spawned on the other side of the wall. Come on now. That's a great way to get robbed on the conflict generator, huh? Yikes. That guy's purple. I don't know why he's purple, but he seems concerning. Ow. Curse you and your exploding enemies. So where are the capsules that I need? Oh, right, that's where the explosion came from. Some enemies release exploding skulls. That's the thing, right. It just happened to release its exploding skull right on top of me. Hey, another yellow pill. Perfect. Rev up that machine gun some more. Oh, I see the capsules on the minimap now. I just didn't recognize them as what they were. They're the blue things on the minimap, probably. I was looking for yellow because the marks on the floor were yellow. So I just filtered the blue ones out as if they were like more shops or something at a glance. That's on me. Yeah, more protocol. I could get more survivability, and I probably should. But with the increased damage taken, I don't know if more survivability would help us. We'll take the fuse, because we know fuse works well. I don't know how well the skill wave thing would matter for us. Also, I think the blue marker I went to might not have been it. I know. There's one here. That is the thing. Okay. Oh god, it's a control point thing. I mean, what are these things called? Payloads. That's the one. And we're dead. There's a grenade went off at my feet and I didn't see it. But we're not dead because we get an extra chance with this character. So, nah, Gabe. You thought you got me. Joke's on you. Additional projectile damage plus 100%. Nah, we'll take the guaranteed to ignite enemies because we can combine that with the extra damage to burning enemies. Ack! Stop throwing bombs at me from across the ages. It's rude. And I just got one shot. Okay, never mind. I think I stopped taking the double damage thing now. I think I've learned my lesson. And if you believe that, I got a bridge to sell you. It's very similar to that sand bridge we were talking about before. Oh yeah, you can just access the Emporium from here as well. Which is nice. In case people are like, wow, you have to go into a run to get at a thing, huh? Wait, Protocol 2 does basically the same thing as Protocol 1.